Here at the Giver Marketing Network, we don't leave you drifting out in space. We connect you to a coach who will help you build and grow your marketing business. Our process acts as a guide on how to connect with other businesses, maintain good relations, and establish a presence on the Giver Marketing Network. Each member within this collaborative group will have the opportunity to leverage your talent and influence, a true network effect. If you are looking to collaborate on more projects, welcome to the Giver Marketing Network, the most trusted and highest rated collective of specialists on the planet. Here we have a group of like-minded professionals who focus on making valuable introductions and helping each other grow by teaming up. Imagine Upwork meets a network and a coach. The talent collectively includes services like visibility and SEO, creating logos, designing websites, managing social media, outreach messaging, visual storytelling, and much more. Think of what you could do with laser-focused allies, strengthening your business while offering your talents to the entire network. Click near this video for more information.
Welcome, everybody, to the Giver Marketing Network broadcast. Also streaming to Kingdom Warriors University. Buckle up, ladies and gentlemen. We're here with David Vogel today. He's a friend. We've been introduced by somebody else, gotten to know each other. Super excited to talk and nerd out about how video can scale your business. And we're in the modern era, right, David? I mean, we're here. This is it. We've been talking about video kind of being the thing for a few years now. It's here. Like we're not talking about the future anymore. We're talking about the now. Like this is it. So super excited. We've had some great conversations about how to leverage video. We're doing this right now. Like we're actually playing the game together. So this is good. David, folks want to know a little bit. I mean, your company name is Remote Video Testimonials, but people want to know about you. Like, what's your background? Why are you even doing what you're doing? Like, what's the thing? Like, what wakes you up in the morning, man? How did you get here?
Well, awesome. Thanks for that introduction, Timothy. Great to be here. Yeah, my journey started a long time ago. So again, my name is David Vogel. I have a couple of companies, Remote Video Testimonials and Heirloom Family Documentaries. And my journey started in 1977. You might want to wonder why that year is so important, but that was the year I saw a small video that not many people maybe know about. Star Wars? Yes, Star Wars. It changed my life. And I saw the power of storytelling in that movie beyond anything I'd ever seen before. In my 20s, I moved out to Hollywood knowing no one. 6 months later, I was working for Apogee, which is a company that was created by the very folks that worked on the original Star Wars. And it was a dream come true to work with them and to be in the special effects industry. Eventually came back to New York, where I'm from, and continued in film production and post-production, spending almost more than 2 decades editing national TV commercials for all major brands. And then I kind of had an aha moment, or not even an aha moment, but maybe a midlife crisis. And I was like, there's more to me than this. I want to make a bigger difference in the world, and walked out of my job. In 2013, started the entrepreneurial journey. Had a video marketing agency for almost 10 years, closed that in the pandemic, being that we were helping hospitals and you're not shooting video in a hospital in a pandemic. And I went back to focusing on something I created years prior, which is Remote Video Testimonials, the ability to capture high quality video using one of these puppies, your smartphone. And so we were able to shoot videos all over the world, remotely, high quality, and then interviewed my dad 4 years ago. And that was like a big aha moment, and I created Heirloom to capture the life stories of our parents and grandparents as a legacy for future generations, know where we all came from. So just super excited to be storytelling and using video to help businesses and families tell that story.
So what I'm hearing, what I know about you as I've gotten to know you, is anything related to video that actually has a pulse, like actually has a real story behind it. We want you to connect with David. Like David's the one that you want to talk to about that. So, well, hey, with that, David, let's drop some goodies. I know you're prepared for some visuals here today, and you want to kind of help us learn the best that way. So let's do that. I'm going to bring up some of the some of the slides that you'd prepared for today, and I'm gonna let just take it away. I'll interrupt you like pretend like I'm a New York friend, just interrupting you all the time. But let's rock, let's rock it all the way through as best as we can, and then people will be able to, hey, look up David Vogel right now on LinkedIn or other social media platforms. He'll respond to you. That's how we kind of got connected. So he'll respond to you as well. Look him up even now as you're getting ready to listen and take notes. And here we go. Let's do it, David.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Timothy. And my big thing about being an entrepreneur is giving back. I started this journey to make a difference. And so hopefully this will make a difference for those of you who are watching this today. So I wanted to empower all of you to be able to leverage video more. Maybe you're not leveraging video in your business at all. There's a lot of fear associated with shooting video or being on camera like we are today. But I wanted to show you three different ways to leverage video to scale your business. So we're all online today. We're doing research, whether we're buying products or services, or we're planning things in our life personally or professionally. Maybe even, trying to get people to join our organization. I mean, in fact, 81% of us go online before we buy a product or service. So we're spending a lot of time online. We're no more of that Main Street business. All our businesses many of our businesses are online, or even we're going online before we make any kind of buying decision. So what I want to share is three different strategies around video and the videos that you would use to do that. So, it all comes down to trust, right? Anyone's going to buy from you. It doesn't matter what your price is, what your service is. If someone doesn't trust you, they're not going to buy from you. So we want to address that with video. Also, building connections. People most likely are going online before they ever get to meet you or speak to you face to face. As much as people buy from business, people buy from people. So how do you build relationships and connections using video, specifically online? And third, let's talk about how do you build community? How do you build that universe around your organization? How do you attract, the greatest talent, strategic partners, et cetera? And so when we're talking about trust, that's going to be the client video testimonial. Your best salesperson is your happy customers. So if you're not leveraging client video testimonials in your business, you're really putting yourself at a disadvantage to competitors. When it comes to building connections, creating personal profile videos, which is where a business owner, someone in the C-suite, could be even a sales executive, is not just talking about what they do, but who they are and why they do what they do. And then lastly is the employee recruitment video. It's harder than ever to attract great talent. And we're going to talk more about how you can use recruitment videos to attract the best talent to your organization. But before we even get into this, how do you even create a video today? There's really three options that you have available to you. So the first option is you do it yourself. We all have video capabilities on our smartphone, webcams in our computers. All of us have the ability to shoot video. It's free for all of us. So there's really no excuses for point of entry into the process. You can, of course, going back to the do-it-yourself, it's free. But also the quality of the results you're going to get are going to be questionable based on your skills and ability. Obviously, if you really want high quality, you want to do it right, you're going to obviously hire a video production company. It's going to be the most expensive way, but it's going to be done right. But what happens if you kind of want the best of both worlds? Well, that's the space that I play in, which is all about leveraging remote video. We all have video capabilities on our smartphones and webcams, as I talked about. How can we leverage video remotely to create high quality video without the need for an in-person professional video crew? So
I love it. Hey, David, I am just wanting to make sure that you can flip through the actual slides that you're talking about today. I know that was kind of an overview that you just gave, but if you could go through and make sure that you can click through the slides on the presentation itself, that would help, I think, me and everybody as you go through it. So that'll be great.
Yep. Now, are you seeing my slides? Because I've been showing slides up to this point. Have you been seeing those?
I'm seeing the one slide, the intro slide. So I just want to make sure our technology is where we want.
Sounds like the technology isn't quite. Let's address that, because I am showing slides. So let's figure out.
I just saw your cursor. So if you were to move that cursor, there you go. Now we're going. Here we go.
Tell me if you still see this slide and it's going now. So do you still see that?
It says, what makes remote better? That's
Okay.
where we are now. So
Perfect. Perfect. So sorry you guys couldn't see that, but you could hear me. So we'll continue here. If you don't see this slide animate, we'll go to a different view and we'll just bang out around this technology issue.
Cool.
So
Yep.
all good. So what makes remote video better? So first off, fast, easy, it's affordable, it's a fraction of the cost, can be done anywhere at any time. You don't need, are you seeing these slides, Timothy, by the way? You seeing this showing up on the screen or no?
Yeah, what makes remote better is where we're at.
Okay, so I'm going to just go this way. So
Yep.
we're just going to go this way. This way you can see everything. So
Yep.
clearly there's something going with the tech. All right. So you can see all the bullet points here. It's fast, it's easy, it's affordable. You don't need an in-person crew anymore. You can follow the same video production process that the pros use. It's just done with a virtual remote crew. You could be doing shoots in as little as 30 minutes. It could be done anywhere in the world. As long as someone has internet connection and a smartphone or a webcam, you're golden, and you avoid all the issues associated with travel expenses. So going from there, this is kind of slide talks a little bit about remote video testimony. We use this process every single day in our business. And so what happens? Someone uses their smartphone, they download an app, we send them a tripod and a microphone. This is what the tripod looks like. We send them a little Bluetooth microphone so we get good audio. We have the ability to position that camera just like a pro would at the right height and angle with a good background. So we get the highest quality visuals. And then we conduct that interview remotely. It's all interview based. People don't know really what to say in video. And so by having an interview based approach, kind of like what we're doing here today, people can give authentic storytelling. All right. So let's go into, find my cursor here. There it is. Okay. So client video testimonials. This is the big one. This is one really that everyone should be leveraging completely. Why do you need video testimonials? Number one, you can communicate so much more in such little time. Now, we've all heard the adage, a picture is worth 1,000 words. Well, 1 minute of video is worth 1.6 million words. No one's going to read 1.6 million words on your website. They will watch a 1 minute video. It's just much more effective than text. It can't be fake. We've all heard about fake Google reviews and Facebook reviews. It is legitimate because that business owner, whoever you're interviewing, is on camera with their information. And frankly, you're able to commute so much more with video and audio. It creates an emotional response, whether it's laughter or sadness or, any of the human emotions. It just connects with person at the heart. And frankly, building trust with an online review is equivalent to the same as a personal recommendation from a friend or colleague. And frankly, I've seen this time and time again. It converts even the most skeptical prospect into a buyer. Okay. So let's talk about some of the secrets to the success with video testimonials. Number one, you're asking for your customer's most valuable asset, their time. So it's got to be fast. If you're going to do this process, whether you're doing it free, using a professional, using remote, it's got to be fast. Also, your customers don't know how to shoot video. So it has to be easy, even for them, if they're going to be part of the process. Third, your customers have no clue what to say. So if you're doing DIY video testimonials, have you ever asked someone to give you a Google review and they're like, hey, listen, just type it out, write it whatever you want. I'll just copy and paste it. Well, this is the same thing goes here. You got to make it so that they know what to say. And the best way to do that is making it interview based. And to get a really compelling video testimony, you don't want to be using boilerplate questions, boring. If you have vanilla questions, you're going to get a vanilla video. You want to have great questions because great questions get great answers, which result in great stories. And then at the end of the day, you've got to have a way to put that story together. You have all these questions. You need a great editor who knows how to tell a story. You want to tell, especially in a video testimony, the buyer's journey, right? Where they were, kind of their pain points. What were they dealing with? They found your business. What were you able to do? What was the service you provided? And then what were the results? Where are they now? Where were they then? And where are they now? Show that transformation and that kind in a video testimonial from a customer. That's going to be huge for your business. Now, what do you want in terms of deliverables? Whether you're doing it yourself or you're hiring a professional, you want to make sure you have that 2-minute video. You can't really tell that buyer's journey in 15 seconds, 30 seconds, right? So ultimately you want like 90 seconds to 2 minutes, and you want to have that video with and without captions. Frankly, if you're sharing this video online, there are many times where people don't have the audio on, or if you're sharing it natively on social media, it plays without audio. So having those captions so you can see what people are saying is incredibly valuable. You also want that short form video, that teaser video that I call, which is that 30-second version. If you want to do, so the longer format is really more for sales conversion. Someone is already in your pipeline who you want to convert into a sale. But what happens if you want to use video testimonials at the top of your funnel for lead generation? Well, if you're on social media today, you know we have really short attention span. So you're going to want to use that short format video, something 30 seconds or less that has a real compelling message right from the very first second that you watch that video. You want to have a transcript of that video so that you can take the text and you can put that into as quotes. You can put it into emails. You can turn that into other content. Use it on your website. Thumbnail, I'll talk about thumbnails in a minute. SRT file is the file format that all these platforms require if you want to put in the captions into your video dynamically. So you want to have that. And then ideally, you want to have all the raw footage. Why? When we do a video testimony, we roughly end up with about 15 minutes of content, and we only use 2 minutes of that, maybe even less. That means we're only using like 15 to 20% of the content. There's a ton of content in there. If you're a content marketer, there's a wealth of stuff you can do with that content. You can make multiple videos from that. You can obviously strip away the audio and turn that into a podcast, right? So there's a lot you're going to want with that video. So custom thumbnails, if you just let the platforms that you upload the video to, you don't know what image, like the image on the left, is going to look like. Someone making some bizarre face. You want to find the nice image of someone hopefully smiling, put their lower third on there with their name and information, branding, of course. It's a simple step to take. Most people skip it. So I'm going to play an example of a video here of Deborah here, so you guys can understand kind of the power of a video testimonial. Hopefully you'll have audio playing here. We'll see if it works.
One of the things that I really, that's near and dear to my heart is the idea of leveraging a partner like SVM as a partner rather than a vendor or a supplier. I'm Deborah Yorkman, Vice President of Marketing at SDI. We specialize in digital supply chain solutions for multi-site facilities maintenance and plant maintenance organizations. I've been working with SVM for about 9 years. They've been managing and hosting our website, as well as helping us optimize around search engine. They've really held my hand through every step of the way. And I will be the first to admit that SDI's website was basically a clickable brochure before SVM came in and started making suggestions on content and building content clusters. We ultimately chose the right path, and it led to 45% of the revenue in our sales pipeline for the first quarter after launching the website came from web form conversions. So phenomenal results. And over the years, as analytics have improved and the search bots have changed the way that they crawl websites, they've kept me up to date and up to speed on how to keep the website not only just relevant, but also how to use it to drive people to our solution. I really have embraced the idea of working with all of the people in this ecosystem, right? And leveraging the knowledge that other people bring to the table. I'm not an SEO expert, and I never will be, but I can learn from SVM, and that's what they do. They're not just minding the shop, right? They're helping me grow. It's great to have a resource that you can rely on, and that understands your strengths and weaknesses of your team, and then always kind of fills in the gaps there. It's a really great partnership.
So this is an example of a video testimonial. Again, Timothy was talking earlier about, that this authentic and real storytelling. You can't put a price on having a client share this kind of a story about a digital marketing agency, to use this as a tool to land more clients. There's so much she talks about that's probably not even in their literature, the holding their hand through the process and really being a partner with her, I think speaks volumes, and they're using this to as part of their funnel in terms of bringing on new clients. So this, by the way, was shot in 30 minutes using an iPhone, right? That's what's possible today. You don't need big fancy cameras and crews to create really rich content. So that was a long form. I'm going to show you really quick kind of a short version, which is something that you would use on social media. Again, watch how this hooks you in right from the very beginning. Again, this was shot remotely, and here's an example.
We're over 60 days having been in production for the first time, and we've got an amazing product, happy customers, and a thriving business. For us, Tower House is not just a one-time partner, but now a long-term partner of ours. And we're really excited to continue to work with them ongoing.
Again, a video like this, which is more of a teaser video, is not meant to kind of cover the whole buyer's journey, but really show the benefits and get someone intrigued wanting to learn more. I mean, that's all we have time for on social media, right? So what do you do with these videos? Certainly the first thing you're going to want to do is you want to upload this to a video hosting platform. Many people do YouTube. I'm a big fan of Vimeo. If you want to get into a whole debate over why one or the other, come reach out to me. We'll talk about that. You want to upload that custom thumbnail. You're going to want to use that SRT file. So if you are going to use dynamic captions, that when people turn on that captions, whether it's YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, that it says your company name the right way and the information is spelt right. You're going to want to have that 2-minute video on your website, preferably on your homepage above the fold. And you're going to want to use those teaser videos as tools out there for lead generation on social media platforms. And you want to upload those natively. Now, if you don't know what native video is, this means you're uploading the video directly to that social media platform. You have to understand that these platforms don't want people to be leaving their platform, going to another platform to see this content. So if you share a link to your Vimeo or your YouTube link, that video is most likely not going to be seen by a lot of people on those social media platforms. So make sure you're uploading those videos natively. Social media should use the caption version. And then you're going to, why not put that video testimonial link in your email signature? So when you're communicating with leads, prospects, clients, strategic partners, they have access to this content as well. And then the big daddy for video testimonials is use it in your sales process. It could be at the front end of it. It could be in the middle of it. It could be at near the end of it. Great for bringing leads into prospects into clients. Just a huge tool in your tool belt as it relates to getting new business. All right. So this is kind of what one of my clients did in terms of embedding their video on their website. As you can see, this is the homepage. It's above the fold. Don't have to scroll to see that. Some quick case studies for you, just kind of see the proof in the pudding. This was a client of ours. They invested in 3 video testimonials. He had a client who thought his fee was too high. The person who was referred to him just thought his fee was too high. And my client thought his fee was more than fair and wasn't willing to cut his cost for no reason. So basically there was a dead deal. He decided after the call, I'm going to send him an email, send him one of these video testimonials. Let's see what happens. 48 hours later, without any follow-up, guy comes back, wants to do business with him, and is ready to send him a check for the full amount of $13,000. The very first time he used the video testimonial, 2,000% ROI. What else have you gotten that kind of an ROI in marketing? Other client of mine, Denise, had 3 deals that she was having a hard time closing them. She shared the video testimonials with each of those clients. That same week, within 5 days, she closed all of them, $300,000 of annual business to her brand. So really powerful. And here's the thing I want you to think about with what's happening with this. So if your price is seen here and your value is seen here, people aren't going to buy. What happens with a video testimonial is it inverts that. People now see the value way up here and your price down here. And when people see that, they'll pay every day of the week. So where can you use this? Your website, your Google My Business page, social media advertising, email marketing campaigns, your LinkedIn profile, social media, text messaging, your email signature. There's just endless. And this is just a few. You can do a lot more. So let's talk about the personal profile video. This is, instead of being about your customer, let's make it be about you, right? People buy from people. They don't buy what you do. They buy why you do what you do. This is a great way to, again, as you see in the slide, build trust. People buy from people, I just said. And it gives that opportunity for a prospect to get to know you before they even meet you. We do these for doctors. Doctor profile videos are really popular. So you can get a sense of the doctor before you even go in and make an appointment with them, right? Here's, I think for sake of time, how are we doing on time? I think I'm going to skip this video unless you think we got time. We got, what, about 10 minutes left?
Yeah, I'd say about 5 or 10 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. And then we're going to have the panelists come in and rock and roll with us.
Okay. So, Yeah, I'll just show a little bit of this profile video. This is a client of ours. Again, this is the business owner. And here you'll get to see kind of what a profile video is, where the narrative is being done, again, interview style with a business owner.
People believe that if they have an antivirus program, if they're running Norton antivirus, that they're protected. And that might have been true 5 or 10 years ago. That is not the case today. Part of the reason I got involved in the cybersecurity and really the IT in general was that I actually enjoyed helping people. It gave me a warm feeling to know that I was able to help people. So what we do at KL Tech is that we help small, medium businesses obtain access to a suite of enterprise level security products that they generally cannot access on their own. They're just not available. Some of the reasons why cybersecurity has become so front and center is that the landscape has changed. It's changed dramatically. We're always looking ahead. We're always reevaluating the tools that we use in our suite to deliver the protection that our clients need. At the end of the day, this is all about saving you from a ransomware attack or business email compromise, something that can ultimately lead to hundreds of thousands.
All right, so I'm going to pause that there. I think you guys get a sense of kind of what a profile video is and hearing the narrative from a business owner. Again, building that likability, that trust factor. So where do you use these kind of videos? Your About Us page on your website. You can email these to referrals, right? That you're being introduced to. A great way for them to kind of get to know you in just a couple of minutes, right? Share as in part of your networking groups, your organizations and so forth. And of course, you can include it in your email signature. Number 3, the employee recruitment video. So why would you need these? It's harder than ever for businesses to attract the best talent out there. There's lots of competition out there, and it's a great way to showcase the culture of your business on video. It provides that authenticity and transparency around your business. People kind of gives them a slice of life, kind of a sense of what you're like. And it's an ability to highlight the employee benefits you provide in just a more real, authentic, and powerful way. And, if you're sharing this online besides your website, again, it's bringing brand awareness. And so, you can interview your employees and have them tell their story about why they're there and why they love working for your organization. I don't have a video to show you here today, but you can kind of see from these thumbnails of just interviewing employees. And where can you use these? Of course, on your website page, if you have kind of a job posting page on your website, you can put this on job posting sites out there that all those, ZipRecruiter, et cetera. And you can share with recruiters that you're using to help you find that talent. Right? It's a great resource for them. So I actually have a bonus for you. I actually have a 4th topic, came out of a result of speaking with someone here in the Giver Network yesterday. So I want to talk really quick about personalized video message. Then I'll open it up to your questions and comments. And this visual here is really talking about we have a pipeline, a funnel to our business in terms of acquiring new clients. And if I play this video, hopefully it'll work here. We're leaking leads and prospects all through the process, right? Let's see if I get this video play. You can kind of see, right? So you're dripping opportunities all throughout the process. Video can be a very powerful tool to stop that leaking from happening in your business. And the personalized video message is the perfect way to do that. It's a video you can place at any point. And it's a video that it's unlike many of the videos that I've shown here today. It's a video you create once for one person to watch only. And so you're making, it doesn't have that, it takes a little bit of effort. It takes a minute or two actually to shoot one of these videos and just share it with that person, right? And so what are these personalized video messages? I know people, and I've seen it in the comments already here this morning, people have a lot of fear of being in front of video. It's no different than giving a presentation. People will do anything to avoid being in front of people, but you got to get over that fear. We can talk more about it after the conversation here. But if you can just be authentic with someone in a video, you're doing it already on Zoom calls. How many of us are on Zoom calls today? It's no different. You're just doing your own video. And the key here is perfection is not the goal. The goal here is connection. You want to connect with another human being. That is really the secret here. And to create these videos, you're going to use your smartphone. You can use a lot of platforms out there. Vimeo gives you the ability to shoot videos. You can do this on Loom. A lot of us are using Loom. You can do this with Vidyard. And for those of you who are afraid of being in front of the camera, you can use this to, kind of create little like training videos. If you're kind of a software-based thing, you want to show someone how to do something, just do a screen capture video. You don't even have to, just your voice. So that might be a good way for those of you who are not comfortable being in front of the camera. And here's the thing. I promise you, the first time you make a video of yourself, you're going to suck. You're going to suck. Anything we do. Oh, my camera will come back in a second. We're all going to suck that first time we do anything in life. The fact is that the more you do it, the better you're going to get at it. Right. And so you can use these personalized videos to connect with cold traffic. You can use the, on LinkedIn, let's say, you can use this prior to a sales call. You can make a video introducing yourself, help manage expectations, the agenda. You can also do it following a call, thanking them for their time. You can provide training, as I talked about. At the end of a project, you can just send a lot of people write thank you notes and send, little notes in the mail. You can send a personal video message to that one person telling you how much you appreciate them and their business. You can connect with old connections this way. You can connect with, or you can use it for asking for referrals from someone. If I wanted to ask Timothy for a referral, if I did that in a video, I think he would respond more than me sending it to him in a text, let's say. And you can use this to get people to schedule calls with you, strategic partners and such. So here, I'm just going to show you one, and then this is basically the end of my presentation. Here's an example of a personalized video message I made that resulted in several $1,000s of business. So let me just find out where my cursor is. And if it plays, maybe not. What's going on here? Oh, I know why. I'm in the wrong place. Stand by, everybody. Here we go. There we go.
Hey, Dr. Jody, David Vogel here. It was great to see you on the Master Networks chapter meeting this morning. I guess it was this afternoon. Would love to schedule a face-to-face with you at some point in the next couple of weeks. I know we talked about that. Hopefully you find that video training I did a few weeks ago that Stephanie talked about helpful. It's actually doing something that I'm doing right now, which is personalized video messages to people. So I think it'd be great for you in your practice. You have such a great personality, and I think you seem like you'd be a natural on video. So anyway, I thought I'd show this to you and also make a request to schedule a face-to-face. So hopefully we can do that soon. Talk to you soon. Take care, Jody. Bye-bye.
So that video was created using my smartphone and took me, a minute to make. And I shared it with her, and we had a face-to-face and generated business. So that's all I have to share with you folks. Hopefully you took some nuggets away from what I shared this morning. Don't be afraid of video. As Timothy talked about earlier, video's here. It's been here forever, but it's more accessible for ever before because of smartphones and technology, AI. There's lots of things you can do. If you need my contact information, just grab this slide, and happy to help any of you in what you're doing. Answer how video can help you specifically. I got a nice little gift for anyone here who's joining us here today. If anyone you want to learn how to leverage video specifically for your business, happy to have a 15-minute consult with you and tell you specifically where the opportunity is in your business to leverage video. So
take a picture of that QR code, ladies and gentlemen. It'll bring up David's information there to be able to set up an appointment. Our time is valuable, David, so thank you for offering that as a gift to our community. At this point, go ahead and leave that up for just a second. But at this point, we're going to go ahead and, Christine, if you could bring in our panel guests to be able to have our round robin or a round table discussion, that would be great. I think we need to mute maybe one or two of us because there's a little bit of background noise. But other than that, I think it'll be good. I think I have an idea. There you go. I think we got it. Good. So here we are, the roundtable discussion. I'm going to go ahead and remove the visual there so we can have some fun, party a little bit together here. There's some questions that came through on social media. There's some questions that came through kind of in the VIP room, which is where all of us were in the beginning. And so let's jump in. Christine, can you lead this part of our conversation and kind of help us with the questions and the answers and those kind of things?
Great information today, David. Thank you so much for sharing with us. It was amazing. And I know a lot of the questions are coming from even our marketers. And so they're kind of brimming with questions. I know Tim Hamilton was just blowing things up with questions back there. And we might want to just jump right into that.
Do it. Yeah. What questions did Tim, Christine, if you want to read those for us as they came
Sure.
in, that would probably be
Let's
the
see.
best.
We've got quite a few of them coming through. We were talking about how do people overcome the fear factor of being on camera? All right, that's a great question. I taught public speaking myself, so I know public speaking is a big fear, whether you're on camera or not on camera. And there's something about having it immortalized, right, forever on video that just freaks people out. So, David, how do you get people to cooperate on that?
So I'll talk about that. Thank you for that question, Tim. And I'll talk about it in two ways. As it relates to testimonials or profile videos, like actually the gentleman that you saw in the profile video, the CEO of that IT company, he's like, listen, David, I can't look at a camera. I can look off camera. I can look at some, but I can't be looking at the camera. And actually, I thought he did a phenomenal job. We got him through that process, kind of coached him, and just look there and just make believe you're talking to a colleague. You're talking to me. We're just having a conversation, right? I think so many people feel like it's weird how you turn a camera on and suddenly they're another personality. I interviewed a lawyer many years ago, and he was he was in court. He was an arbitrator, and he would take on all kind of, and we put him on video, and he just started giggling. Like, here was this guy who's amazing in court, and just got to get people relaxed and just be authentic. And whenever I do a remote video testimony, I said, listen, you and I are just having a conversation. We just happen to be videotaping it. So I've never really had an issue with interviewing people to do it. But if you're talking, Tim, about how do you specifically get someone like yourself, like create, whether it's a personalized video message or create your own content, I tell people, look, be of service to others. What's happening when you're in fear, it's because you're being self-conscious about yourself. Don't make it be about yourself. Make it be about the person on the other side of the camera, and that goes away, because that has to do with, do I look smart? How does my hair look? It's all about kind of all of the self-conscious stuff. And as soon as you get past that, I mean, I used to be afraid of public speaking. You might not think it with this presentation today. I now love it because I got out of my own way and just kind of came from a place of service. So hopefully that helps answer your question.
What a great question. And I know Tim had a couple more. Let's pepper in. There's a social media question from, I think it was Nate. Christine, can you see that one? I think it had to do, I'm trying to remember what it was.
What are some examples of good questions for an interview?
So that's a great question. The questions is the secret sauce to great testimonial videos and great profile videos. And the secret to that is you need to know the subject. And what I do with my clients when we interview someone is I actually have them fill out a short form to give us data points, help us understand, why are we interviewing this person? What was the experience like for them? Why are we interviewing in the first place? What was their win? What is the story? They already have chosen that person for a reason. So what is the story they want told? And so we'll take that data. We'll even ask them, what would be the perfect soundbite? What will be some questions that you would ask? And then we have our own internal process to take that information, some research we take on the website and so forth, to create about a dozen questions that are specifically targeted for that individual. Client might hire us for multiple videos. Every question in an interview is custom to that person. You ask great questions, and that person will give you great answers. We actually know what the final product is going to look like even before we start filming, because we already know the answer they're going to give, and we're just asking the question to get them to tell it on camera. So hopefully that helps.
Christine, I see another question here, and thanks, David, for getting right to the answer. It's really, really helpful in this format. The iPhone videos are great because of lighting, the setting, the background sound, and framing. How do you get all these elements right when you're not in person? Like, how does that technically work? Like, how do you do that, man?
Thank you. I'm very proud of that. And it's something that's very important to me as a cinematographer and a videographer, is, again, coming from, feature films and TV commercials, is quality is a non-negotiable for me. So how do you do that when there's no one physically there? Now, we do have some training videos, some short 3-minute videos that we give to the person being interviewed in advance, kind of help them choose a room and a background and where do they sit. By the way, none of those videos had any artificial lighting. they're using natural light. And the secret to good looking videos is having a great light source. Like, for instance, I'm looking at Timothy right now. I know for a fact, without being where he is, that there's a window to his right. And that's the main light source in his room. I know he has kind of this design background, but I might, he still looks good regardless. I might rotate him to that window to get a nice fill light. Backgrounds where, the thing that I love with shooting with smartphones, and the reason why we use smartphones is because if you're using a webcam on a computer, it's really hard to move that, raise it, lower it, rotate it, move it to another room. With a selfie stick, we use a little selfie stick that has a built-in tripod. We can put this literally anywhere we want, adjust the angle, adjust the height. So even just a 5-degree change in the angle will completely change the background. And so we're focused on background, making sure there's not a plant coming out of the top of someone's head. And we take just a little bit of the first 5 or 10 minutes of any of our interviews is doing a little directing, right? Making sure we have good lighting, make sure we have a good background, make sure they're framed in the shot, so they're not like down here in the frame or their head's cropped off, and making sure they have a good eye line. So by doing those training videos and spending a few minutes at the beginning, you can turn any mediocre shoot into a spectacular shoot.
Wow, this is great information, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're taking notes, because this can help you whether you make 1 or 2 adjustments, or whether well, of course, you're going to book a time with David and ask more questions, but it'll just help you as you always improving, right? Not perfection, but progress, right? You're always improving. And as you do that, you'll find that your organization, your business, your personal brand will become illuminated, for lack of a better analogy. So, all right. What does the workflow look like, my friend? Another good question, David. This workflow, once they have a quality video, how's it edited, graphics, all the goodies that kind of we saw on some of those videos you showed?
Yeah, so workflow I'll talk specifically about remote video testimonials, but any kind of remote shoot is the key to making this happen is just getting whoever's being interviewed, whether it's a business owner or, a customer, getting them to schedule. You got to get them you got to get them. And I really encourage, when I work with clients, to do that with them if possible. Get them to do it, because we get distracted. And you have to remember, especially if it's a customer, they're doing you a favor, and favors are always at the bottom of their to-do list. So if you just get them to schedule, once they schedule, we send that kit out to their home or business, so they have that tripod and microphone. They get to keep that. We don't even ask for it back. Again, making the process easy for everyone involved. That's what we want to have them do, is have to ship stuff back to us. So they get that tripod and microphone. They get the training videos, and they show up to the shoot. And the beautiful thing about this is it's easier than giving a Google review, because they just show up and they answer questions. Like, there's no prep work here, right? Other than a little bit, downloading a free app and installing it on their phone and just showing up. But that's really part of the process. Once we have the video, we put it into our editing process. 7 to 10 days later, finished video is done with lower thirds, graphics, color correction. We actually, kind of like what you see, I'm shooting with a digital SLR this morning, so you have that shallow depth of field. Being that we're shooting with smartphones, which have a huge depth of field, we actually do a post process to blur the background, make them stand out. Really, if you saw any of the videos today, they really pop from the background. And then once they've approved the video, which typically are rough cut, hardly anyone ever asks for a revision, because we come from a place of quality and they love the storytelling, that they pretty much approve the very first cut. We share it with them for them to download and upload to their video hosting platform. And then we also can offer our clients, video consulting services, helping them with strategy and implementing and sharing those videos. But the process is pretty streamlined. The hardest part is getting someone to just schedule on the calendar. Our process, we're done in a week, pretty much.
So essentially, you have the video testimonial service in a kit. Like, you're ready to kind of help folks do that. Are there other tools that, I'm kind of riffing off of another question that was asked?
No, that's a great question.
Like, any other tools that we should play with before we even
Yeah. So, I'm talking specifically about my kind of turnkey solution, but there are other tools. Like, we use kind of the latest video remote production platform in the marketplace, the latest IT. But if for someone who wants to do remote video themselves, there is a platform called Riverside.fm. Again, it's called Riverside.fm. It's a relatively affordable. It's a SaaS-based model. A lot of people are using it for video blogging, for doing kind of things like we're doing here on StreamYard this morning. But you can use a platform like that, get video testimonials, do remote shoots. It's not the same kind of, doesn't have the same robustness of the platform or the technology that we use, but it's certainly something out there if people want to dabble in remote video themselves.
Fun tools to play with, and then get yourself ready, practice a little bit, and then go big time and have some fun with David. I love that approach. That's the questions I saw, Christine, in kind of our streams and our chats. If there's anything else, we can maybe grab those toward the end, but I want to honor the guests in the room as well. Joel and Jack and Nicholas, a lot of those questions that were coming through already came from Tim. So thank you, Tim, for those. Really appreciate it. Anybody have any questions, or at least attempt at a question for David today? What do you guys got? We'll unmute everybody here that we can.
I mean, I see Tim had a couple other questions, recommendations on other video testimonial services. Most of the video testimonial services out there, Tim, are DIY platforms. So they're really good for businesses that aren't a consultative sales. So if you're in a business, or it's a business that doesn't have a relationship with customers, then you're going to want to do kind of a mass mailing kind of approach. It's a very affordable way. But as you kind of heard me talk about today, DIY is a kind of a slippery slope, and you can't really go back and ask them to do it again if they do a really bad job. So be careful with that. But there are DIY platforms out there. I talked about Riverside FM as another platform that can be used for remote video testimonials specifically. You can do Zoom. I'm not a big fan of Zoom. You can maybe try, StreamYard like we're doing here, but these are really video conferencing or live streaming platforms, not meant for recorded video. That's why we use the technology that we do. Tim also asked about editing software. I'm an Adobe Suite kind of guy. I've been using Adobe for, I don't know, almost 30 years probably. So we edit with Adobe Premiere. Microphones, we actually use, this is the microphone we send to our clients now, specifically when they have an iPhone. It's a Bluetooth, plugs right in. It does a great job. We've also used hardwired little lavalier mics that kind of look like this. It's like a little wired microphone. Helps us to get better audio than the kind of the built-in mic, where if they're in a very loud environment, you're gonna get a lot of ambient noise as well. So that answers that. Was there anything else? Workflow, I talked about that. And I know someone indicated that these were iPhone videos. These are smartphone videos. And the reason why we don't use webcams, most people don't have a third party, 4K or 2K webcam. They typically have the built into their computer, which is typically 720p. And we're editing everything at 1080p. We could actually edit at 4K if we want, but we typically edit at 1080p.
All right, now we're talking nerdy. I like the technology coming out because
going hard.
yeah, this is good.
I was just thinking about the use of video for events and testimonials. So you've got live events, you've got online events. Jack, has been running a networking mastery class, and I could just see something like this coming in to interview his class participants, right? Towards the end, what value did you get out of this, right? What a great way to promote your classes. If you're a coach or anything, I could see great value. Have you done anything with the events like that, David?
Typically haven't done with the event space, because as it relates to in-person events, what they tend to do is have a video crew there at the event, and maybe kind of another suite or a hotel room or another room, and they'll just kind of pull people, and they'll have a setup. Hey, like a lot of franchisors will have their franchisees at an annual convention, and they'll pull them into a room and, hey, tell me why you're a franchisee of this company, and they'll just do it live. And that's a much more affordable way, because you have a video crew there and they just bang them through. And so I would recommend that for in-person. For remote or virtual events, you can use our technology, or you can use the DIY platform and do it that way, because that way you can get kind of more bang for your buck. But if really where our video testimonials are really leveraged the most is for service-based businesses, where it's a consultative sale. right? You're not going to use this to sell slices of pizza. You're not using this at McDonald's. You're not using this at the local restaurant. You really, attorneys, doctors, business consultants, marketing agencies, anything where it's kind of hard to kind of grasp on what is the deliverable here, right? It's kind of a leap of faith.
Well said. Interesting. Got my brain moving a little bit there. I have one question, a kind of a follow-up question in a minute, but Jack, Nicholas, if you want to unmute yourself, go ahead. Joel, you're already unmuted. Any questions or thoughts for David as we kind of start landing the plane here today?
Quick question, David. If we want to have the opportunity to collaborate with you on client projects and so on, what kind of lead time do we need in order to prepare the client for the process, get that recording in, get the editing done, and have it ready for launching a campaign?
Sure. Great question, Joel. We're pretty much available instantaneously for the most part. If whether it's an agency or a client comes to us directly and they want video testimonials, we're good to go. The slowest part in the funnel or in the process is them, number one, selecting someone, number two, getting them to agree, and number three, getting them to schedule. Once if someone comes and, hey, listen, David, I have a client. They've agreed. They're ready to schedule. They just need the link to schedule their time. We could be interviewing them in 3 days. Actually, we could be interviewing that same day in a crunch situation if we don't have to send the video kit. I had a situation where this was literally the day before Thanksgiving. A client came to me. I was actually already away, and he said, "Listen, we're going to a trade show in 10 days, and we want to have 2 video testimonials before the event." We were able to deliver that. And these were 2 clients. He was in Washington. The clients were 2 other places. I was in Florida, and we were able to get those 2 video testimonials. I mean, that was a rush situation, not kind of a classic situation. But as I shared earlier in the presentation, once we have that video shot, 7 to 10 days, if not less, they will have a video in front of them.
Great question. Thank you, Joel. Jack, did you have anything?
Probably have once I get going, I'll probably have a couple, because my business is I work mostly with people that are in a consultative sale position. And so, and we use the process of discovery to uncover a client's needs, wants, pains, all that stuff, then sort out a solution for them. So, having someone like you available to me to close a gap, because at some point, no matter what sales process you're in, there's always that spark. It's got to jump a gap. Okay, I trust you. Let's go forward. So you may be a good spark for me if you don't understand my analogy at that point.
No.
So I'm looking forward to talking to you more about that and how we can collaborate with that.
David, can you speak to that? How you've maybe partnered with other marketing professionals and consultants and the like?
Yep. When we work with strategic partners specifically, we can work one of 2 ways. We can work either as it's a straight referral opportunity. Hey, listen, you definitely need, for instance, I have actually we're kind of more internal. There's a lead generation agency in Chicago, and he's actually built our videos into his process because he knows that video on sales pages, these kind of testimonials are going to help him with his results. And he's kind of built us into his process. We deal directly with him. He then takes that and packages it into his solution. And then we do all of the kind of facilitating. Once he's identified the client or the client's customer, or the client's customer has been provided to him, we will then coordinate that on the back end. But he will then, he's ultimately, the agency is my client, and we just deal directly. We provide 10%, we provide kind of wholesale pricing to our strategic partners. And then they can mark it up as much as they want. They can turn it into content marketing strategy. It doesn't have to be just about the deliverable of a video testimonial, of a profile video. They can, as I told you, 80% of the content isn't even being used in the video, and that's all rich content. Or, they could just refer us outright. Hey, listen, you need video, and this is the guy to use. And then, we create referral kind of partnerships that way. But we can work we can't really white label. This is not like SEO where, there's no communication, like you're using some firm in India or something where they don't really have client touch. This is a very high touch, high service experience for everyone involved. And we're working directly with a client's customer. The last thing we ever want to have is that experience be a negative experience that damages their relationship. So we're always kind of on full alert, making sure it's a positive experience and an easy experience for them.
David, we have just a couple of minutes, and I began to become I got really fascinated with heirloom family documentaries. As kind of a bonus, extra time here of conversation, can you share with us a little bit about this labor of love where you're helping families and kind of why you're doing that as we wrap up?
Yeah. So, I mean, it really kind of hit a heartstring in me, with the pandemic where so many lives were lost. And that means that those stories are lost as well. And, if you are the oldest, you're the last one in a generation, you are really the conduit, not only to your story, but the story of your parents and the story of your grandparents and relatives. And, I interviewed my dad 4 years ago. He was 82 years old. And I realized I felt like I was on borrowed time. A lot of my friends and colleagues have lost one or both of their parents. Knock on wood, both of my parents are healthy and in their 80s. And it was a transformative experience. It was my best 4 hours with my dad. And that's not to say we've had bad hours together prior to that, but I really got to see kind of behind the curtain, if you would, of who he is and what he's about. And it was from that experience and how transformative it was. My just a really quick vignette there. My older brother got to hear something in that narrative that he's been waiting 55 years to hear from my dad. He had my brother and my dad, didn't have the tightest relationship. And he got to hear something that was really, really special for me and transformative, made me want to launch this business, because there are too many stories not being told. We don't really know our parents. We really don't know our grandparents. We don't know our immigrant story. And I use the same approach that with remote video testimonials. In that case, we actually send an iPhone to the individual, because most 80 and 90-year-olds don't have iPhones or don't know how to use technology. And so we've stripped away as much of the technology from the solution. And we're able to I've interviewed Holocaust survivors in Israel, World War II vets, and the people are just so grateful to have that information. I mean, I even have people whose parents have, a parent might have dementia or Alzheimer's, and they just want anything. They've kind of, it's a little bit late in the process, but they just want anything that they can grab that can help them in kind of capturing the essence of their family members. And it's I would love to do it 24/7 if I could. It's really a labor of love.
Well, I appreciate you sharing that, because there are so many families, especially if if you're watching this going into the holidays, or if you're thinking about the next holidays coming up, this could be something super special. And like you said earlier, David, all you need is a smartphone that has a fairly good camera on it, and you're good to go. You can guide everybody through the rest of the process. That's not a problem. So let's do this. We have just a few seconds here. Christine's going to be sharing about a Wednesday group that we have going. But before we do that, I want to add your QR code one more time to the screen. Just give it kind of that honorable mention here. Those who are able to take a picture of your screen right now will have the privilege of being able to connect with David for maybe 15, 20 minutes. Do not abuse his time, ladies and gentlemen. Just schedule an appointment with him, ask him some questions, come prepared, and see if you want to partner with him or leverage some of his superpowers in some way, shape, or form. But video is the thing. Like, this is the non-negotiable. It used to be like you needed an internet connection, then you needed a computer, then you needed this. Now it's video. This is the non-negotiable. This is it. So thank you, David, for your time today. I'm going to go ahead and bring down that screen, because if somebody hasn't clicked on or taken a picture by now, I don't know what to say. Maybe they need to start typing or rewind the video. Like, I'm not sure. Like, they need to at least connect with you on social media or something, right? So I really appreciate everything you brought today. All right, so let's give Christine the floor just for a second, ladies and gentlemen, and we will see you on this broadcast next week. But what extra good stuff do we have for everybody, Christine?
We always have extra goodies going on. On Wednesdays, you want to join us for networking for marketers. So if you're a marketer, don't be a lonelypreneur. Come hang out with us. David today was giving us great examples of collaborating and working together. So come work together with us and join us. So feel free to make a comment and we'll make sure we get you to the right place. But really, you want to go to givermarketing.com/networking, and that will get you to our registration for our Zoom. So come hang out with us and have some fun.
That'll be
We're
good.
looking forward
And
to it.
Christine, you do a great job on that. All right. God
That's
bless,
right.
guys. Have a great week. We'll see you soon.
Thanks, guys, for having me. It was great being here. Nice. Thanks for all the support. I really appreciate it.